Hey guys, Pro Football Tailgater. I'm Chris Rowe, and we are doing another draft mock simulator. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up a draft mock simulator that is pretty popular, and we're gonna see how it works and how we can talk through a draft. I'm gonna talk you through kind of a draft strategy I have and why I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get through each player, and we're gonna talk about pros and cons and why I'm selecting the players I am. Of course, this is my personal ideas and rankings on how to win. It's helped me how to win my fantasy leagues over the years, and I want to help you win your fantasy league this year. So, without further ado, I'll go ahead and show you the setup, and then we're going to get right into it. So, first things first, here is the mock draft simulator by PFF. We're going to take a look at it. This is what it looks like. So it says to sync your league. We're not doing that today. But we got our draft speed right there. And number of teams. We're going to do 14 today. And we're going to do, I think, the third pick. Just to kind of give you guys, because my last one was sort of in the middle. So we're going to try the beginning of this 14 team draft. Number of rounds 15. I'm really only going to go up to 12 because your last two picks are usually your defense and your kicker. Usually people, that's what they do. If you want to get them earlier, like around the 12th round, I won't go any higher than 10th. It would have to be a really, really convincingly good defense to get me to go beyond 10. I'm sorry, before 12. So, and there are a couple this year that maybe you might want to think about that. But I'm really only going to do up to 15 rounds today so that you guys can see exactly what the strategy is. We're doing a snake draft, and we're doing PPR scoring. If you don't have that, then this might not work for you. But either way, you can at least get an idea of how I draft and why I draft and who I'm drafting. Number of bench players, we're doing 6. Starting players 9, which means we got 1 QB. You got RB 2, wide receiver 2, tight end 1, 1 kicker, 1 defense. We got flex. We're gonna change that up. I'm gonna go to 0 here, and we're gonna add in a wide receiver running back. That's pretty standard in most leagues to be wide receiver running backs. Flex with another tight end. It really is going to change your draft strategy. And I don't really do super flex leagues. That'll significantly change your draft strategy. We're talking about quarterbacks in the first round, things like that. And everything else, it tells you to put like your strategy. We're not going to pick that because we're just going to go off what my strategy is and talk you through that. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and launch this mock draft. All right, here we are, guys. PFF, they give you a draft assistant. We're not going to use that as much, but here we're going to come down to the rankings because that's exactly what we're looking for here with PFF. This is how they're using it. They also have Yahoo ADP kind of put in here, and they have PFF rankings. So this is what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through here. You have obviously your starting and your bench over here on the side. So we're gonna talk through who our first pick's gonna be. Our first pick, I'm really not interested in Jonathan Taylor, and that might be controversial. He's just inconsistent, and there's too much volatility there. Daniel Jones went down last year, and you think that it would be a lot of Jonathan Taylor, but defenses just were not fooled. They knew Jonathan Taylor was coming around, and that's it. So I know Daniel Jones is healthier. I would say that there's going to be a lot more passing going on. If Jonathan Taylor is healthy and Daniel Jones is healthy, yeah, he could be a good pick, but I just think there's too much volatility. And Christian McCaffrey's coming off of like a huge year. We're talking like 412 something odd touches, Every time most running backs come off of a huge year like that, and plus he's an aging running back, he's 29. I just feel like there's a little dip. You could look at Saquon, you could blame the OC for Saquon, and that could be a possibility. But I really think, I want to go with somebody who's youthful and really has some upside. I'm not really interested in James Cook either. I know he was basically the RB1 last year in yards, but he's also up and down and inconsistent. One game he'll have 5 points, another game he'll have 25. We're looking for consistency, guys. We really want to latch on to consistency, and we got a lot of players to choose from here. Basically, we have 30 players to choose from in this first round, and you really want to nail this pick, especially since it's first. Now we can go with Jamar Chase. With Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase is money. You're going to get that high-end wide receiver for sure. Puka Nacua, I prefer Chase over Nacua, even though Nacua is, I chose him his first year. I had him right after the draft, and I got him popped off. I love Puka Nacua. He's great. Um, he just has a really rough play style, so I don't know that I'm going to pick him. You just never know when he's going to get injured, and I know he's going to get fed the ball a lot. Jamar Chase is a little less injury prone. He's just pure money, guys. James Cook, we talked about him already. Jackson Smith and Jigba. Now on my rankings, he's lower. He had a huge year. I just don't think he's going to replicate 1,700 yards again. They have a different OC there now. I know they just won the Super Bowl. I just don't feel like he's going to be in this top tier like everybody else. Now, Devon Achane. Guy is stellar. Great running back. He's going to get fed, especially historically. Running quarterbacks actually improve running backs that catch. They improve their baseline as far as how much yards they get, touches they get, because usually defenses have to put a spy on a quarterback. So you're freeing up an edge and possibly a linebacker that's not going to be able to cover your running back. So Devon Achane has a lot of upside. I don't know that he's my top pick though. I just don't feel like he's going to be up there because we're looking for consistency, guys. We want pure consistency. They say that you can't screw up your first pick, but I say that you can. They're going to be good. They're just not. They're not going to be amazing. Now, Ashton Genty, guy was really consistent and had a lot of yak. He just had a horrible offensive line and a horrible OC. That's all going to change. We're talking about the Super Bowl winning OC is coming from Seattle, and he's going to coach up what was wrong with Las Vegas. I mean, this is his first head coaching position. They've made a lot of changes with the line. Ashton Genty is their playbook. I know Brock Bowers is supposed to be. He's coming off of an injury, but I just feel like they're going to run the offense through Ashton Genty, and he's going to catch a bunch of passes. So he might be an option here. Justin Jefferson, I think he's going to return to form. I think he's going to rival Jamar Chase here. Jamar Chase, he's money. He's going to make a lot of points no matter what every game. Justin Jefferson, they're playing everything in the dome. Their schedule isn't as hard as you would think it is. It's kind of middle of the pack. Kyler Murray got signed. KOC says, you know what? I'm going to take this former number one overall pick and I'm going to fix him. We're going to fix him. Kyler Murray's hungry. He's on $1 million deal. I just don't see why he wouldn't hyper target Justin Jefferson. I'm talking 30% target share. Justin Jefferson is going to eat like crazy. We've seen him do it with D-Hop. D-Hop had some of his great years while he was in the Cardinals. Say what you will about Kyler Murray. He's short, can't see over the offensive line. He can scramble, all that stuff. He will get the ball to Justin Jefferson. So he is definitely in play here. Kenneth Walker, I just don't feel he's very volatile. He might get injured. I know Eric Bieniemy is back, and he really concentrates on the run game. I guess I really got to see him get through a full season of being the pure 3 down workhorse back. Yeah, he had a great playoffs. He's ended up being the Super Bowl MVP. I was rooting for him, but now he's going into KC, and I just don't feel like he has to have a crazy career year, and I don't see it, guys. I just don't see it. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the next one down here. This guy, he is consistent. He is the consistent player of all the consistent players. He's also in there. So I went through my first 14 right here. We're not going to get all the way to over here because it's 14. 14 plus 14 is 28. A lot of these players are going to go missing here. Devontae Smith. Now, anything below this, I would say below Amari and Hampton is worthy of a second round pick. Your first round should go all the way to Amari and Hampton. I don't feel Barkley has the upside over Chase. Henry has the upside over Chase either, or Justin Jefferson. Amari and Hampton, I really love this year, but Chase Brown, I'm not gonna have a chance. I'm sorry, Jamar Chase, I'm not gonna have the chance. Chase Brown might rival. He might have that type of Christian McCaffrey year this year. He's also a pick that you can take that I know might be controversial, and you might get all your league mates going, whoa, whoa, did you guys see what he did? That might be one of those picks, and you might be right to pick him up very early. But in our number 3 pick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go with Jamar Chase here, okay? And we're going to hope that a good running back is going to come back around, after 28 picks. I'm sorry, after 25-ish picks. So we're going to go with Jamar Chase. That's going to be my number 1 pick. They're all going to go through right here. Joe Burrow said that he feels like it's like his championship team this year. The guy has unbelievable upside with Joe Burrow throwing him the ball. So Jamar Chase, I think, is a great pick. Okay, so we're back. We're back. It came right back to us. 25. I said I was hoping for a good running back to come back. I talked up Chase Brown, said that he could have a Christian McCaffrey-like season. I'm going to go through these other picks here. Just because we're going to have, about a four pick swing here. So I'm going to talk up these other picks and why I'm going to pick one after another. Chase Brown, I think, is a great running back to pick up at this spot because he could be an RB1. He could be top 5 RB. So you're going to look good with having a wide receiver 1 and a top 5 running back right here. Kyron Williams, I just don't see him being a top 5. I see him top 15 running back, maybe top 10, but I don't see him as a top 5 RB. Drake London, amazing talent. Volatility with the quarterback. Wide receiver is your only, other than the tight end, that is position that is dependent on the quarterback play. Is it Tua? Is it Penix? It's probably going to be Tua. And Tua can sustain up to, a number 1 and a number 2 wide receiver in the respected, 2 top 20 wide receivers, let's put it that way. He can sustain that, but I'm looking at the picks here. Drake London has some volatility at quarterback. Devontae Smith has Jalen Hurts throwing at him. He's going to get fed a lot. He's going to get over a 20% target share. Do I think Devontae Smith is going to do better than Drake London this year? Yes, I do. I really do. But I don't know that that's the pick that I want next. I may want to go RB. Breece Hall. Guy's going to have a better year this year. Is he going to be consistent? I don't know. He may or may not be. Chris Olave, great wide receiver. I've had him on plenty of teams in the past couple of years. Love this guy. Jordan Tyson is joining that wide receiver room. Could get a lot less than what he's been getting. He might end up being the number 2 wide receiver, and it could be more like a George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb type of vibe. So Javonte Williams, I didn't talk about him. Javonte Williams, he's a pretty good running back. I would say he's a good running back 3. I wouldn't get him as your running back 2. I think there's a couple other running back 2s that you can probably get later on in the draft. Garrett Wilson, I think he might be having a comeback. Geno Smith is able to sustain 2 top 20 wide receivers at one time. When he was in Seattle, we're talking Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. I think Garrett Wilson is immensely talented. I think that he's going to sustain top 15, top 10 production. That might be a good pick around the corner. Now, Ladd McConkey. I think Ladd McConkey is going to have his breakout year this year. Mike McDaniels knows how to target wide receivers and make a good offensive scheme work for his wide receiver. We're talking short to intermediate throws, kind of over the top crossover throws. Those are going to be the kind of things that Ladd McConkey, and there's no Keenan Allen. Hopefully they don't pick up Keenan Allen again. Keenan Allen screwed up his year last year. I say Ladd McConkey is going to have a great year, and I have him ranked up a little higher than Garrett Wilson, and definitely over over Chris Olave. And then you have Judkins here. All right, Judkins, he was getting 19 fantasy points a game last year. He was damn near getting a ton of touches right before he got injured. I think it's not going to change because there's volatility at the quarterback. They redid their offense line. Quinshon Judkins might be a great turnaround pick here. So this is what I'm going to do, guys. I'm definitely going to get Chase Brown here. I just think he's that good this year, and he's going to have the ability to break out. So I'm going to get Chase Brown. And we're going to wait for the picks to roll around. Okay. And all right, picks went in. It looks like they picked up. Well, I don't know who they picked up here. But a lot of those picks went through, and who we got is Kyron, Javonte, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Ladd McConkey. Chase Brown is my number 1, and Jamar Chase. I know I'm going Bengal heavy. We're going to do Ladd McConkey here. I just feel like he's really going to have that breakout year. I think he's that talented in this offense. He's going to be the guy. Other than Omarion Hampton, it's Ladd in the air. It's Omarion Hampton on the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and draft Ladd McConkey, and then we're going to look to see where we're at in the next round and go with that. Okay, we got all the picks going. Luther Burden's a great pick. Hopefully, if he's there, I might get him. On the board, we got Bucky Irving still. We got a lot of people missing here. Wow. Luther Burden is definitely in the running right now. I think he's got a lot of upside this year. I think he's going to be the number 1 over Rome Odunze and over Colston Loveland. I think he's going to get the lion's share of all. And as far as I can tell, Las Vegas thinks that too. He's got projections from Las Vegas to be number 1 there. Now, here's the question. So we're gonna go into another quick swing of things since we're in the 3rd position. So we got a chance to get a wide receiver and a running back here. I'm gonna come down a little bit, and we're gonna kind of talk up how far we think our 5th round pick can go. All right. I'm going to start with Sam Laporta up here. I'm going to work my way back up. I don't think he's a 5th round pick. I just don't. I don't think he's going to blow up in that offense as much. He has the possibility, but I think maybe it might be Williams' year to break out a little bit. And I think Sam Laporta is going to be less targeted Bayshaw Tootin, I'm really high on. I really think he's going to get the Lions' share of work. That he could be an RB2. He might be the one that I might pick up here. Um, Jalen Warren, I think he's sharing a backfield now. Uh, he shared it last year. He's sharing it now with Rico Dowdle. Mike McCarthy's going to use Rico Dowdle a lot more than you guys think he will. Jalen Warren, he catches passes. He goes up the middle. I get it. Talented player, but he's not uber talented. It's going to be a split backfield. I don't think he's going to get as much as even Bashal Tootin. Tucker Kraft, I think that he's going to be the number one targeted player on the Green Bay Packers. He might start off slow, but I think he's going to end up being tight end one, and I'm targeting him like tight end one. So I may pick him up in the next round. Thomas, Jacksonville's a mess. We don't know who's going to come up. They have Thomas, who's just running straight down the field. Lawrence, he doesn't target him much anymore. And there's 3 other players there now. Parker Washington, supposedly supposed to be the new number 1. He's not even on this. Well, he is a couple spaces up here. And then you got Heisman Trophy winner Travis. He's supposed to be coming back too. He's a slot receiver mainly, and he's going to get his time. And then they picked up last year Jacoby Myers, which he's not untalented. He's been on a couple of teams, but he's not untalented. He's great. It's a mess. I don't know who's going to win that. So I'm going to stay away from Brian Thomas. And to be honest, I know everybody's betting on Parker Washington. I'm not going to bet that. We want clear-cut alphas, guys. Or if they're not alphas, they're the top 2 targets on their team. That's what's going to help you. Don't be trying to do dart throws on Parker Washington, Brian Thomas, and Jacksonville. I'm not going to do that. Alex Pierce, he's going to be injured for like half the year, at least the first 4 games. I'm not going for him. Mike Evans, love Mike Evans. Used to have Mike Evans on my teams all the time for the last 10 years. I've at least had him the majority of his time, especially when Tom Brady showed up. I had him for a while. I just don't want to be a part of the drop-off, guys. I love Mike Evans, love the player, always loved the fact that he went 10 years straight. I don't want to be a part of the drop-off, not for my fantasy season, so I'm not picking him up. Ramondre Stevenson, he is not in a clear-cut RB1 role. He's sharing a backfield. We don't know if Trayvon's going to pop off this year. We just don't know. I don't want Ramondre Stevens. I want somebody who's going to be the clear-cut alpha. And so far, I think Bashal Tootin is going to be the alpha. That's my opinion. I don't think Chris Rodriguez is really going to threaten as much. Plus, he's injured too. So, Bashal Tootin's going to have it. Rico Dowdle, he's also in a timeshare. I don't want timeshare. I want somebody who looks like they're going to be the clear cut. Rome Dunze, I think he's lost a step now. I think that injury is permanent. I think he's only going to be a wide receiver 2 from now on. Rome Dunze is great. Showed flashes. He said himself he has to learn how to run differently. The biggest thing that we can, relate this to, hopefully it's not, that much of a drop-off. Allen Robinson, same exact injury, different player after the injury. I don't want to bet that. I hope the best for Rome Dunze, but I don't want to bet that. Christian Watson, love him. Clearly talented. Completely unpredictable. I know they paid him. Green Bay's hoping that he's the guy. He's going to pan out. He's going to be that superstar wide receiver. Too much volatility. Been injured a lot. Hasn't done one full season. He is clearly talented, but I don't want him at this price. DJ Moore, he's probably going to be the alpha in Buffalo. That's a big room, and Stephon Diggs went there last year and got 1,000 yards, but he wasn't even the alpha on that team. DJ Moore, it's up in the air whether or not he's still got it. If you want to bet that he's still got it, go for it. Grab him here. Carnell Tate, massive upside. Guy is supremely talented. We don't know what he's gonna do, but there's a good chance that he's the number one there. You got aging veteran wide receiver there, Calvin Ridley. Then you got the new guy, Chimere Dike, who had some flashes. Very fast dude. I don't know what his game's going to look like, but he's definitely not going to be the alpha there. Wando Robinson, we know he's good. What's the chemistry like? I know Brian Dable loves him. He's going to use him a lot, but is he going to be the alpha? Is Carnell Tate going to be the alpha? We just don't know. If you want to take that risk on Carnell Tate, it might be worth it because the guy could be Malik Willis. It can be that. There's a good chance it can be that. And Elikeyo Manor, he was promising, but he's just not as talented as you want him to be. Tony Pollard, I just don't think he's it, for running back. A lot of people pushing him up the draft board because he had a good, back end of season. Javonte Williams, not Javonte, Jameson Williams. He's a number 2 in his. I think he's going to have a great year, but I don't want that. I want number 1s if they're still on the board. David Montgomery, I really think that Houston has not fixed their line problems. I know they invested a little. David Montgomery is going to be buried behind that line. He's going to be back to average. That's what I think. I don't think he's going to be as good as he was in the Lions. The Lions' offensive line was amazing, and they've been amazing. Jared Goff has been clean for the last couple of years that he's actually a decent quarterback. No pressure on him. I think that Houston has had those problems, and CJ Stroud's going to be good, and David Montgomery's going to be good. They've got to have a better line, and I just am not betting on that. Now Terry McLaurin, he's the number 1 alpha in his offense. Both him and his quarterback, Jaden Daniels, they're healthy now. They're definitely healthy. So that might be a good one. Swift, I don't think even though he's the number 1 and he has kind of like a high, I think he's volatile. He had good games, he had bad games. He's just not crazy good. Bucky Irving, a lot of people talking about his talent. They're not sure if he's going to, resurge his career and come back from that shoulder injury. He was in and out of the lineup. It's kind of a mess in that backfield because they still kept Sean Tucker, even though Rashad White is gone. They kept Sean Tucker, and they started using Sean Tucker a lot at the goal line. So he's kind of a specialist in that way. They might do that again. The other thing is they picked up Kenny Gainwell because Kenny Gainwell can catch. He took a ton of passes from Aaron Rodgers last year in Pittsburgh. I think this is going to be more of a split backfield than you want it to be. Bucky Irving is going to have a contest, so I'm gonna go. This is the move I'm gonna make here. Okay, I'm gonna go with Luther Burden because I think he has tremendous upside, and I'm betting he's going to be number 1 in his offense. He's going to be my wide receiver 3, so it's not even my wide receiver 1. Or 2. He's going to be my wide receiver 2. So I'm going to draft him now. And then we're going to see how it plays out with who's left on the board. And I'm going to roll down here and see who's left. Now, do I think I'm going to have Tucker Kraft, going 25 or 24 picks, whatever it is? What about Bayshaw Tootin? I think Bayshaw Tootin is amazing this year. I don't have another running back at the moment, and I think he's going to be a running back 2, and he's the best option in these picks so far. So I think what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to take Tucker Kraft because I'm betting he's going to be the number 1 tight end, and I really don't want to miss out on him. And there might be a couple other running backs available coming up, and I'll talk you through exactly who I'm thinking. I'm going to take Tucker Kraft and maybe hope that Bayshaw Tootin is still there because not everybody's betting the same thing as me. So I'm going to go ahead and take Tucker Kraft here. Let's see exactly what happens here. Stevenson's still on the board. Rico Dotto. Tony Pollard's still on the board. Christian Watson's still there. Nope. Well, almost. So they're going through, the AI is going through and picking stuff. So let's see who we got left after we went 25 picks. Looks like Bashaw Tootin got taken. Rico Dotto's still on the board. Monday Stevenson. Like I said, their timeshares. Jalen Warren's still there. You know, I think this might be. Okay, so we got 2 picks. I'm going to talk through these guys. People that I haven't talked about yet. I talked about Christian Watson, Rico Dotto, Parker Washington, Stevenson, Alec Pierce, Brian Thomas Jr., Jalen Warren. All right, Justin Herbert. I think this might be the time that I might pick up my quarterback, Justin Herbert. I like Herbert this year. He's got an upgraded offensive line. He's got a new OC that really wants to display his talents. And he's going to be protected. He's going to have time. He also showed his rushing floor. He did nearly 500 yards last year. Unlocked before they were like, hey, he's not a mobile QB. Now he's a mobile QB, guys. The dude might be in his era. It might be Justin Herbert era. All the mistakes might be cleaned up. We know Mike McDaniels is great. So that's my case for Justin Herbert. J.K. Dobbins. I love J.K. Dobbins. He's great. He announced himself, no injuries, top 10 running back. Well, actually, I think he said 1. He wants to be the top running back. Might be possible. Denver Broncos, Sean Payton. Guy loves to have a committee backfield. He likes J.K. Dobbins, obviously. J.K. Dobbins hasn't quite lost a step. He's still there. He's just injury prone. That's his only problem. I had him a couple of years ago when he was resurgent on this team and he got injured towards the end of the year. I was sad, to say the least. He's one to consider right now because I do need another running back, so he might be a consideration. Michael Wilson, he had a great 6-game stretch. Damn near the best wide receiver in the league for that 6 games. Do I think he's going to do it again? I don't know. They changed their OC. It is a LaFleur. He might unlock both him, Marvin Harrison, and Michael Wilson because he's been on the Rams for the last couple of years, and the Rams have been great with Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. I understand that those 2 wide receivers are not them, but this might be the year. Both of them might get unlocked. But I think Marvin Harrison has the edge. I don't think Michael Wilson's going to be it. Josh Downs, though. Oh, man. Michael Pittman's gone. Alec Pierce is injured. Daniel Jones coming off an ACL tear. Usually a lot of these Twitter doctors saying, hey, it takes about half a season to a full season to get your full strength back. Do I think he's going to launch down the field even if Alec Pierce shows up 5 games in? Not as much. I don't think so. So I think your top 2 targets are Tyler Warren, Josh Downs. Steichen even said, hey, we're moving Josh Downs around. He is not going to be purely a slot receiver. He's going to have some outside opportunities, and he's going to be out there in 2 wide receiver sets. The guy's going to be on the field more. Josh Downs might be a guy I want to pick up here. Guy's purely talented. He's shown it before. I might want him. Quentin Johnson, there's a lot of truthers out there. Super talented. He's got potatoes for hands. Does he fix that this year? Maybe. Mike McDaniels might fix it. He has sustained 2 wide receivers in Miami. Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. Is Quentin Johnson Tyreek Hill? He's not him, but he's fast. He can burn people. He'll stretch the field. Can he catch the ball? I don't know. That's a wait. We'll see. Josh Downs catches the ball, my guy. Quentin Johnson, he's same with Xavier Worthy. The guy's route running's been all over the place. He's been injury prone. He hasn't really shown it. Rashee Rice is their offense. I don't know if I want Xavier Worthy. Jordan Mason, He's an okay guy. He was great on San Francisco. He's in an OKC offense. They extended Aaron Jones. He's not the clear-cut number one. Aaron Jones is going to be used. Makai Lemon, rookie. No, second-year guy. Sorry. No, he's the rookie. He's a rookie. What are you getting out of him? I don't know. Devonta Smith. Devonta Smith. That's the guy. That's definitely the guy. Makai Lemon, you're doing a dart throw here, in this round. So, I don't know. I too many question marks for me. Chris Rodriguez, he's injured. I really don't think that he's going to be the guy. Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy surprisingly is good. I have him like in my number 12th quarterback. He's just good when he's on the field. But when he's not on the field, he's not good. His numbers take a hit. Is he going to stay on the field? Is he going to be consistent? All his pass catchers are super old. Everybody is, except for Ricky Pearsall, but he hasn't been able to stay on the field either. So Brock Purdy, I've lowered him a lot. He's like number 12 quarterback for me. I don't think I want him right here, especially when there's other options a little farther down the list. Like a Dak Prescott. Heck, even Kyler Murray, I think is going to have a better year than him. Jonathan Brooks, I think is going to take it over. As you can tell, PFF has them almost right next to each other. I think that's what's going to be at the beginning of the year, but I'm going to tell you, I think Jonathan Brooks is super talented. I think his ACL tears, they're behind him now. I think he's going to overtake it. He's going to be number one. Chuba Hubbard's he's going to sit on wood. He's going to be a wood rider. He's going to ride the bench. I just feel it. They're not completely committed to Chuba Hubbard anymore. He signed an extension a couple years ago. Jonathan Brooks is way more talented, and they want to see him. They want to see him, and the coaching staff said he's flying around on field everywhere. He looks great. He catches passes too, guys. He is amazing. He should have been top 10 pick if he had not torn his ACL. That might be my pick, guys. That might be my pick. See, Dak Prescott's down here. All right, so I'm going to come back up here. All these guys I've already talked about. I'm taking Herbert here. We're going to draft Herbert, and let's see what comes after this next 4 or 5 picks, whatever it is. Let's see. Jonathan Brooks, he's on the board still. Josh Downs. Seeing as how I don't have a second running back, I am taking a big risk by taking Jonathan Brooks. But I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's that big of a risk. So call me crazy, call me bold. I'm drafting him as my second RB. I missed out on some of the other second RBs I could have because I went for talent, on the wide receiver end. And actually, I went for talent on the tight end. I really wanted to lock the tight end position up because there's not many of those players. It's sort of like running back. It's really hard to find those players. So I'm really hoping Chase Brown holds everything down. Okay, let's see who we got left here. I've already talked these players up right here. Josh Downs, Quentin Johnson, Worthy, Mason, Rodriguez, Dalton Kincaid. Now, I've already drafted my... he's in my top 10. I've drafted my tight end. He's in my top 10, so he's a consideration, but I'm not going to get him because I don't need one. Blake Corum, he's splitting time. It's probably going to be more like a 60-40. Kyron Williams still the lion over there. Mark Andrews, he's in my top 12 tight ends, and it actually says tight end 12 right here. I think he's going to have a resurgence, but I'm not going to draft him here since I already drafted him. Isaiah Likely, I like him too. I actually have him in my top 10. He might be top 8 if I recall correctly. I think he's going to be the pass catcher there in the first half of the season, depending on Malik Neighbors. I just feel like Malik Neighbors is going to take forever to get healed. Isaiah Likely is the guy to be catching passes there, guys. It's just kind of what it is. RJ Harvey, he's in a timeshare and he really didn't show much last year. Kyle Manungai. Kyle Manungai. Guy's good. I think that the timeshare is going to get lopsided. Um, right now it's a 60-40, maybe a 70-30 split between DeAndre Swift and Kyle Manungai. I think Manungai showed that he's good. Ben Johnson likes the split. Think about when he was in Detroit, um, Gibbs, Montgomery. I think Manungai is the Montgomery role for sure. And he's going to be good for some touchdowns throughout the year. Maybe 7 to 1,000 yards. That's kind of bold to say 1,000. That would mean both of them had to have to like pull up 1,000 yards. Manungai might be on the list here as my bench running back. So he's there. Chris Godwin, has he lost a step or two? We don't know. He's a little older. He came back and he made some touchdowns last year. Between him and Emeka Ibuka and Ted Hurst, it's kind of a split that we don't know what it's really going to look like. So that's a little risky of it. I like Chris Godwin, but, older player, kind of a split. I just don't know. Kyler Murray, I already talked him up. I think he's worth it. I already took my quarterback right now. I'm going to go for a high upside quarterback a little later on. But for now, I'm not going to touch Murray. Rachaad White, I just don't think he's as talented as what everybody's talking. He's right here with Ja'Cory Crosby-Merritt. I think Crosby-Merritt has the chance to be the number one running back there and get the lion's share. I think he showed enough, to be honest. And with Jaden Daniels being healthy, the line going through some repairs, it's no longer the one-trick pony OC Cliff Kingsbury. They elevated David Blau, used to be a quarterback, worked under Ben Johnson. It's going to be a system a little bit more like that, and Ja'Cory Crosby-Merritt really has a chance of being the David Montgomery kind of role. And I think Rachaad White was brought in to try to do the Jahmyr Gibbs role, although Rachaad White is not Jahmyr Gibbs. But you see what I mean. I think Crosby-Merritt might have a lot of touchdown upside, goal line work, things like that. So David Blau's really going to make the offense work a little bit better instead of whatever Cliff Kingsbury had going. So he might be that running back I might pick up too. Zach Charbonnet, he won't be back for at least half the season. I don't think he's worth that pick right now. Chig Okonkwo, I already have my tight end, but Chig, he might be okay. A lot of people are predicting he's going to be number 2 pass catcher there. Could be. Unless they pick somebody up. I think they're going to pick somebody up. I don't know if it's Diggs. I don't know if it's Keenan Allen. I think they're going to pick somebody up. So Chig Okonkwo might be number 3. If they don't pick up anybody, then he might be the second. That might be a worth it pick, but we're not going to pick him up right now. Jaden Reed, they paid him, gave him an extension, but we're really going to focus on Tucker Kraft and Christian Watson there. Keaton Mitchell, he's a backup running back. Jared Goff, he's in my top 10. I think he's going to be worth it if you want to wait on, if you didn't want to take Herbert and you want to wait on quarterback. Jared Goff, he's model of consistency right now. Tyler Algier, he's backup. Or he might be the starting, but either way, between him and Love, they're gonna alternate. That's what Algier's good at. He's gonna be a goal line back too, unfortunately. Higgins, pretty good wide receiver. Brenton Strange, Tyrone Tracy, Romeo Dobbs. These guys, I really don't have like big explanations why I should grab them. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come back up here. And I'm going to pick up who I've already talked about, who I think is worthy and good. We're going to pick up Josh Downs because I really think he might be number 1 on his offense, which you're getting him at a discount then. We're going to see how this plays out right here. And he's on my bench already because I already have a good amount of wide receivers. And we're going to look for a running back that I had talked about. It's not Chris Rodriguez, not Worthy, it's not Johnson. I might go with Dobbins. Although he's a little old. He's a little on the old side, guys. Dobbins is in a timeshare, and so is Jakrowski Merritt. I like Jakrowski Merritt. I think he's still explosive. So I'm not going to be able to get him around. It would surprise me. We're going to track him with Rachaad White and Zach Charbonnet. We're going to see how long those players last. So I'm going to go ahead and get Jakrowski Merritt here. You guys might think I'm bold and crazy, but I'm not going to be able to get him next round, I don't think. Let's see. Okay, so we're looking. People are going. Blake Corum's leaving. Worthy, Mason. Zach Charbonnet's still there. Okay, so Charbonnet's still there. So that tells me that he might have been there and he might not have. It's really close. I don't know what else to see. So let's see where we're at as far as picks. Okay, so I said I was going to go to the 12th round. We're at the 10th round right now, so I got 3 picks left. So we're going to skip a lot of these guys, and I'm just going to not interested in Keaton Mitchell, not interested in Jared Goff, Tyler Algier, I'm not. Brenton Strange, Tyrone Tracy, Jordan Love. He might have some upside this year, but we don't know. Dylan Sampson, he's an RB2, maybe might not get on the field. Hunter Henry, tight end 18, that seems about right. Brian Robinson, he's a handcuff. Romeo Doubs, he's your wide receiver too over there. He might have a little bit of upside, guys. Romeo Doubs, he's a good possession receiver. I know I got Jamar Chase, Lad McConkey, and Luther Burden. He might be good for trade bait once he shows that he's really good. After A.J. Brown, it's Romeo Doubs. It's not Hunter Henry like everybody keeps talking. It's Romeo Doubs. He might be good for 900 yards and like 6 touchdowns. That's a possibility. I might grab him. Let's come down here. Now, Malik Willis. I'm going to tell you guys about Malik Willis. We're in the 10th round. Malik Willis, there's no problem picking up Malik Willis, guys. If he's my quarterback 2 and he's running upside and he's passing, he doesn't need to do but 2,500 yards and like 700 yards in running to squeak out humongous value at quarterback. If he does better than that, he's amazing. He's like within your top 10 quarterbacks. He's in the running for me to pick him up right now, guys. I think that's extremely good value. So I'm looking at him. I'm not looking. I don't see anybody else other than maybe Tyler Shuck. But I already have a good passing quarterback. Tyler Shuck might come up and be, top 15 quarterback. Kellen Moore's got a good system going on there. He looks a lot like Dak. He has running upside. That might be the other guy. The only reason Malik Willis has huge running upside, huge, and in fantasy running quarterbacks, that's where it's at. So I may lean towards grabbing Willis and just keeping him on my bench all year. You just never know. Juwan Jennings is going to be this 3rd wide receiver after Addison. Johnson, Dulcich, those are tight ends I'm not interested right now. Ray Davis is a handcuff. Now, the only one I can say is Adonai Mitchell here. I think there's some upside. I like Adonai Mitchell. He might be the wide receiver 2 or the pass catching receiver from Geno Smith's second pass catcher. Top 2. That's good. That's good. And you're getting him at extreme value. I think he might be the guy that I'm going to pick up right now. I do lean in getting running backs. Tyrone Tracy. behind Scatabo, I mean, you're gonna be lucky if he's gonna be a pass catching back. That's just what it is. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do, guys. I am definitely going to grab. I think I'm gonna grab Romeo Dobbs here. I know he's not a hot, sexy name, but he could climb up draft boards or just points, period. Opposite of A.J. Brown. So I'm going to draft him. And then we're going to see who we got left here. If Malik Willis is there, I'm probably going to grab him. He's a great late round lottery ticket. So I'm going to draft Malik Willis. And then there's going to be a bunch of picks, and we're going to see what everybody got and see who's left here. And then I'm going to talk through my last pick here, which should be 12th round. Yep, this is going to be round 12, pick 166. It's going to be my last pick here. So everybody else, you really have 2 picks plus your defense. I would have said probably good to draft a defense already. We missed out on the big one, a couple big ones. So maybe the 10th round if you want to get like either Texans defense. Probably the big defense that you guys are all looking for is obviously Los Angeles, the Rams. That would be an exceptional defense that I would pick in round 10, to be honest. So everybody else, I think you can wait till the second to last round, maybe even round 13. So we're gonna go back over to all the rankings. I'm gonna unclick that. And probably for my last pick, I already talked him up, is Adonai Mitchell. I think he's a great late round flyer. Everybody else, I'm kind of skipping through here. Naylor might be good. He might end up being number 2 on the wide receivers over there. Trey Tucker's not going to be. He's a long ball guy. Yeah, I just don't see too much after this. There's a couple guys. Maybe if I see point out Noel, he might be okay. Wicks, I don't think he's going to be great. Ted Hurst might be good for a dart throw. Jonah Coleman, he might end up being your RB2 in Denver behind J.K. Dobbins. So that might be a good lottery ticket right there. Flournoy. Jaden Blue. I don't know if he's going to be number 2 running back there. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for Adonai Mitchell, guys. I'm getting him at the end of drafts a lot. And he might pan out, guys. He might pan out. So he's free. He's completely free. So I'm going to go through who I got here. We got Justin Herbert as our quarterback, Chase Brown as our wide receiver, our running back 1. Jonathan Brooks is our running back 2. If I have to say, going through this draft, him being my running back 2, I'm very high on him. I would rather him have been my running back 3 or flex spot, but that might pan out to be a good one at running back 2. So I'm a little hesitant to plant my flag and say it's definitely going to be like a smash pick. I think it's going to be a really good pick, and I think he's going to be a lot higher than people are saying. He's just that talented, guys. So that might pan out. Jamar Chase, I got him as my first round pick. I can't really go wrong. He's got 40-point upside, guys, at any given time. It's just ridiculous. Lad McConkey, he's got 25 to 30-point upside any given game. Tucker Kraft got 20-point upside. So, I mean, I think that's pretty good. And then they got Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. I think he's going to get the lion's share there. I think that might be a sneaky, decent pick. Malik Willis, if he's making more points than Justin Herbert, that might be a sneaky good pick too. If he just produces, he produces. That's just what it is, guys. And he might be interchangeable depending on your game plan. Luther Burden. I'm probably going to switch my flex spot with Luther Burden right there. I just feel like he's going to make more points per game. He's got 20-point upside. He got 27 in his last game, guys, in the fantasy playoffs. I won championship because of him, guys. I started him. I had the balls to do it, and it paid off. Josh Downs, I think he's got upside. If he ends up, pulling down 15 points a game or something like that, it might be a good trade, trade usage, or you might trade somebody, like a Luther Burden and keep Josh Downs as your third wide receiver. That's just good. Same thing with Romeo Dobbs. He might be a good dart throw, and Adam Knight Mitchell. I would say probably the only problem I have with this particular draft is the lack of running backs in this draft, but you're making up for with all the wide receivers you have. You might be able to trade one or two of those wide receivers if they pop off and pick up a running back that maybe somebody's a little bit more down on. But I mean, I don't have a problem with any of these guys. Maybe a Kyle Manungai or something like that. I think this is a good draft, guys. So that's gonna do it for today. We just went through a draft. I'm probably gonna do ESPN next, and we'll probably start off at the end of the draft, see what exactly the draft will come out. I think starting at number 3, picking Chase Brown up might be controversial to some, but I gave you the reasons why. He really has that kind of upside this year. I don't see why not. Joe Burrow's on the field. There's a threat to a pass game. The guy's totally versatile. It's very possible. It's very possible. And if they even have a smidge of a good defense, he could run a lot to run out the clock, guys. It won't be just garbage time, or it might just be garbage time, whatever. He catches passes too. So the upside is enormous with Chase Brown. So I think that's a good pick. I really think that's a good number 1 pick. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know exactly what you want to see. I can make, whatever kind of videos you want to see, whatever kind of draft strategy you want to see. Let me know, and I'll work on it. But until then, you guys have been on YouTube, so you guys know the subscribe, like, smash the buttons and all that stuff. It would really help me. I want to grow this channel, and hopefully we have a draft assistant app coming up for you guys in the next couple weeks, and I want to release that, and I'll let you know, and I'll probably make a video on how to use it, and it'll have my rankings in there, but you'll be able to mess with it and manipulate it. So looking forward to that. Keep an eye out. Other than that, we'll see you guys in the next one. Later.